Hello students, today we will learn the second poem of Beehive, class 9 English. The title of the poem is Wind. We all know that wind is a natural phenomenon, and in this poem the poet talks to the wind. The power of the wind has been described in this poem, and the poet says that wind is destructive. He has linked the destructive power of wind to the adversities of life and say that weak people break down but stronger people emerge out of adversities. The poem gives us an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardship of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. We must make these destructive forces our friends with our strength and determination. Now, here in this poem, how to deal with difficulties, how to deal with problems, we can learn, we can understand. Now, we will go line wise. Now, this poem is written by Subramanyam Bharati, and the poem is translated by A.K. Ramanujan, a very well known English Kannada writer and poet A.K. Ramanujan. Now we'll go line wise. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. See in few lines. Then frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. In this first stanza, the poet wants to say something about the activities of the wind. Before that, we'll see the meanings of the word. The poking fun. The poking fun means what? Making fun of something. Simple. And weaklings means a person who is very weak. Now here, in first stanza, the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. He's asking to the wind that wind come softly. And again, he is saying to the wind that he should not be very strong. So don't break the shutters of the windows. Means you do not be very strong. Don't scatter the papers. You do not be very strong. Do not be loud. It should be soft and subtle. Means wind should be soft. It should not be strong. And then again, poet says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. Okay. It breaks the shutters of the window and scatters the paper. The wind is very strong, and that's why it shutters the windows and scatters the paper. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf fall down. Again, when the wind is very powerful, it just throws down the books on the shelf. Then the poet says to the wind to look at the poet describes the power of the wind, and again the poet says that look at the destruction that the wind has done. Means he again is saying to the wind, look what you have done to me. To the wind he is talking. Whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, like small plants and small things, they just get disturbed. Okay, weak things or small things or tiny children, they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. Means here the smaller things which are weaker things, they get hurt or they are destroyed with the wind or the difficulties. Now here we can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to the wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly just like a small kid. Okay, and in the latter part we come to know that the wind is destructive like a youth, just like a young boy or a young girl who is full of energy, violence, and distraction. In first stanza, both type of attitude is presented of the wind. Means in the first few lines it is said that wind is like a small boy, kid. Okay, it is like being naughty, and in other part it says that it is destructive, it is violence, it does, it's doing violence. Okay, now second stanza, frail crumbling means here the frail crumbling houses and doors. Here crumbling means falling or falling to be falling or to cause something to cause the destructions. Here rafter means a sloping beam which supports the roof of the building. It's a part. Then here the word crumbling is repeated so many times to lay stress that everything crumbles in the face of the strong wind. Here everything crumbles in the face of the strong wind. And so the writer is saying that when wind is very powerful, it is very strong. It leads to the breakage of everything. Houses which are weak fall, doors which are weak fall, the beams on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall. All the bodies of the people fall. Animals, lives, and hearts. So the poet is saying that everything crumbles, everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces an adversity or a challenge in his life, he breaks down and falls. So one must not be very weak, he must be very strong so that he will not fall down. Now you may feel that this situation, now current situation, you can feel now this coronavirus and all this difficult time we all are going through. So we must be strong, we should not be weak. Now the second stanza, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. Okay. Then he won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Now here, in this stanza, the poet wants to make friends with the wind here. See, in the first stanza, two different two different things are given about wind. But now here in second stanza, the poet is saying that we must be friend with the wind. The adversities in our lives simply means we must take that adversity or take that challenge as a friend, or we must be familiar with the challenge. He says again that the problems will not listen to us, they will come, so we should be prepared. See, the problems will not stop by our saying, or if we oppose the problem is not going to be solved, but we should be prepared to solve it or to face it. In preparation, we should build strong homes. See, we should build strong homes for preparing to the adversities or to the challenges, and uh, close the doors of our family or our house firmly so that the wind cannot get into. So we must have strong doors so that the wind cannot enter in our houses. And then again the poet says that we should also make our bodies also strong and hearts also firm to face these challenges. Means we also must have strong body and strong mind to face these kinds of difficulties, challenges, okay, and distractions which are given by the nature. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. See, when we are powerful, we are stronger, then all these challenges, all these difficulties will be like our friends. So we will not feel that they are troublesome, they are difficulties, they are problems. We will not feel as if they are problems. Again, the poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. He is comparing the wind to the god. He again on the next few lines, he says, the poet says that the wind is like God, and we praise wind every day. Again, the poet says, adds that everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of strong wind. Means whichever is weak, that will be vanished or that will be destroyed by the wind. Again, he gives some examples. He is giving a very important message that we should not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face any of these difficulties or any of these challenges. We must be strong, okay, and we must be strong enough to face these kind of difficulties. We will definitely overcome these challenges if we have power, if we have a strong mind or strong body, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life because they help us become stronger and better. Means these are the things. Difficulties make you more stronger. So we must not run away from the difficulties or the challenges in our life. So here in this poem, what is the work of the wind and how this wind is compared to the difficulties, or it is just considered as the difficulties which come in our lives, and how one should be very uh, positive. One must have that positive attitude to come up from those difficulties or the challenges. One must feel that these difficulties are not going to destroy us, but we must stand firm to face, to solve those difficulties. So in this way, uh, we must live in our life uh, powerful, or we say in a strong manner. We must live our lives. Now here the poem comes to end. Now